Good morning.
Yes, madam. Is there anything I can do for you?
Well, as a matter of fact, there is. My husband and I noticed in the paper the other day that you were still requiring couples to offer up their own homes for the accommodation of some of our migrants from England and overseas.
Ah, yes, that is the case. That's our sponsor a migrant scheme. May I take your particulars? Oh, but before we start, would you care for a cup of tea?
Oh, look, I'd love one.
Biscuits?
Oh, no, thanks so much. I'm dieting. The lovely mother quest, you know.
Quite so, but your particulars?
Well, now Val May is married, that gives us the sleep out. We can accommodate about 2 migrants comfortably.
That's splendid. Just a minute, will you, while I get a form so that I can take down your details. 2 migrants, I think you said?
Yes, 2, counting Val May's sleep out.
What is your address, please, Mrs...
Mrs. Everidge, Mrs. Norm Everidge. I was an Edna Beasley, a Wagga.
Your address, Mrs. Everidge.
36 Humoresque Street, Mooney Ponds. We're very handy to the junction, and the Essendon bus goes right past our door. Also very close to the Glen Huntly tram, so only about 25 minutes from town. It's a brick area, of course, and our neighbours are all a very nice type of person.
It sounds lovely. But do you mind if I get these particulars straight? How many rooms comprise your home, Mrs. Everidge?
Oh, gosh, I'll have to count them, won't I? Now, let me see. Well, there's our bedroom 1. Norm, that's Val May's father, has just painted it a lovely shade of dark egg blue, and the blonde wood 3-piece suite looks lovely against it. And I've just bought myself a new chenille bedspread and a sort of pinky colouring.
Very attractive, I'm sure, Mrs. Everidge. But you surely don't wish to share your bedroom with the migrants.
Oh, goodness, no. Norm isn't as hospitable as all that. But it's just off the front hall, and they're sure to peep in every now and then. Well, let me see. There's our bedroom 1. Do I count the hall?
No.
Well, there's our bedroom, the hall. Then there's the lounge and dining room. If you open the double doors. Little Kenny, that's my youngest, always calls them the reindeer doors because of the sand-blasted reindeers on the glass. If you open the double doors, it's a lovely big room. We push back the Genoa velvet couch and roll back the burgundy Axminster squares for Val May's 21st, and the young people had the time of their lives.
I'm sure they did. But the other rooms, I just want to know how many rooms will be available.
Oh, well, there's our bedroom, the whole... Then there's Brucey's old bedroom. He's my eldest, and he's just got himself engaged to a lovely Ivanhoe lass. He has an excellent position with an engineering firm in South Melbourne, and Norm and I are thrilled with the way he's getting on. Oh, there'll be his room, of course. Do I count the bathroom?
No, I think I have sufficient data. Now, Mrs. Everidge, is there any particular nationality you would prefer?
Oh, what a coincidence. As a matter of fact, we were just talking about that the other night. In fact, we had quite a family conference. I made some of my savouries and Mother made one of her sponges, and we all sat round the dining room table and had a good old chinwag about the whole thing. So, really, I frankly don't think it's fair of us to decide definitely till I've had a word with Mother.
But surely your mother attended the family conference.
Oh, no. Goodness no, didn't I tell you? The poor soul had a very bad turn indeed last night in the middle of Blue Hills. She's marvellous, you know. She hasn't missed an episode for 5 years, but I'm afraid it makes her a bit excited. Do you think I could give her a tingle?
By all means.
Thank you so much. Could you have a list of countries ready so that I can ask her when she gets on the line?
Certainly.
Thank you. Oh, hello, is that you, Mother? Are you wrapped up, darling? Dressed? What? Sponge fingers? Oh, you wicked thing. She's marvellous, you know. A bad turn last night and up and about again this morning making another batch of her famous sponge fingers. No, dear, I'm in town talking to the migration gentleman. He'd like to ask you a few questions. How's the hip, dear? All right, dear, I'll hang on. She's just gone to get her atlas.
I really don't think that would be necessary.
Oh, he doesn't think it's necessary.
Ask her if she'd like a New Zealander.
Hello, dear. The gentleman here has just suggested a New Zealander. I believe they're a very clean type of person. What, dear? A tattoo? Where, dear? Really? But how would you know, Mother? Well, of course, Val May's married and out of danger's way, but I wouldn't like to think of little Kenny being contaminated. I'm not even sure how Norm would feel about that sort of thing. No, dear, we won't take any chances. She's very excited.
Really,
Who
this
else
is
have we got
ridiculous. What about a Swede?
A what?
A Swede.
Well, I'll ask her. Hello, Mother. The gentleman's just suggested a Swede. No, dear, the new Australian, not the veggie. Sweden, dear. Have you got your atlas? It's a pink country up near the top. What, Mother? Hundreds of pink countries? No, lovey, there aren't very many at all. Which atlas have you got there, Mother? The thick one? Oh, no wonder you found lots of pink countries, dear. That's the telephone book. Her eyes, you know, the only facility she's got that isn't first rate. Oh, just a minute, will you? Hello, I think she's back on the line. Is that you, Oh, hello, Kenny. How are you, lovey? Are you being a good boy for Nana? Did you eat up your malt like a good boy? Ah, you little darling. Hey, Kenny. Kenny, love. What does the birdie say, pet? What does the birdie say? Birdie, birdie. What does the birdie say, dear? Oh, you little love. All right, darling, off you go, Petty. Mummy's in a hurry. Right, dear, go and get Nana. Mummy wants to talk to her. Ta-da, Kenny. Bye-bye, lovey. Ta-da, darling. Bye-bye, Ken. Goodbye, dear. Ta-da, Kenny. Bye-bye, darling. Ta-da, baby. Goodbye. Goodbye, Ken. Ta-da, darling. Bye-bye, darling. Goodbye. Goodbye, Daddy. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Goodbye, Kenny. That was little Kenny. He's marvellous, you know. He's only just 5, but such a sturdy little tot for his age and so talented. He's always sitting down at the piano playing the latest hits. And you should hear him having a go at classical music. When Mrs. Chapman next door heard him play the Rustle of Springs, she said it was a child prodigy. And she should know, you know, because her husband... Oh, and do you know what the kiddie's doing now? He's learning to play Advanced Australia Fair so that he can play it first thing in the morning, wake up the migrant and teach them the Australian way of life. Oh, just a minute. Is that you, Mother? Have you got your atlas this time, darling? Good. Now, could you give me a list of available nationalities, please? It's not too much trouble. Thank you. Just a minute, dear.
Spaniard.
Spaniard,
Serb,
darling.
Croat,
Spaniard and the Spain
Dane,
at the back of the...
Dutch.
Darling, it's a
Czech,
big thing sticking out of the bottom of
Pole,
Europe. Just a minute,
Lap-
darling. Will you excuse I? Would you mind taking it a little slower so that Mother can look them up in her atlas? Thank you.
Spaniard,
Incompetent, do you?
Serb,
Just a minute.
Croat,
Spaniard,
Dane,
S,
Dutch, Czech,
Just a moment,
Pole,
Mother, will you?
Lap, Bulgar.
What?
Bulgar.
Control yourself! Oh, I've never heard anything so disgraceful in all my life. Civil servant, too. Righto, Mother. Yes, I'll be home in time for an afternoon cuppa. You look after yourself and getting no cooperation here whatsoever. What, dear? The roast? Turn your top to medium and your bottom to low. Righto, Mother. Goodbye, dear. Goodbye. Bye-bye, Mother. Goodbye, dear. Well, I'll really have to be popping along now. I'm so sorry to have troubled you. Mother was quite right, you know. We'd love to sponsor a migrant, but we do rather draw the line at foreigners. Good morning.